Hello video editors, gamers and technology lovers. In the past we made a review with the title Build a Super PC or Not, because we were not sure of the performance of that system. I didn't personally like that performance, and we invest and reinvest and modify some pieces because something was not right. We used indeed the 6090 GTX from Nvidia, a great graphics card, but you know, in that review we focalize on video editing only. We didn't make that PC for gaming, and it was from the old system to the new system 4 years or 4 or 5 years, and the performance of this supercomputer I expected to be huge. Gigantic, because you know all the producer says on their products extreme hyper, and they use big words for their products. Now we modify the PC. We add instead of Intel 520 240 gigs, we add the Samsung Evo 850 in 250 gigs. So the speeds of copying, if you want to do, for example, a 4K editing, will be much higher. We get impressed. And then we add the Asus 980 Ti OC, so it's overclocked in the factory. So compared to 6090 we obtain some performance, but not that high. What I'm trying to say, for the money we pay, the producer don't make really performant gear and stuff. They invest a lot in design and little in performance. For example, our system was in the main board Asus P8 P67 with Intel i7 260K, and was a great computer. We had only 8 GB DDR3 in one 600 MHz. We had Intel 520, and in full HD editing was great. We even were able to make 4K editing. Of course, it was saccadated, the preview, the rendering was slow, but in full HD was great. The system overclocked. But with the cost of this super new PC, and I'm gonna tell you the specification really quick, an Intel 5820K overclocked to 4.4 stable. We got a water cooling from Cooler Master, the Asus Strix with 3 fans, 980 Ti OC, and we got Samsung Evo. So this computer has a value, including this powerful UPS, somewhere in $4,000, less or more. And comparing to the old system, we gain somewhere in 70%, maximum 80% more than at the rendering, especially in the rendering from the old system. So with the money of this new system we can buy 6 old systems. So it being great if we are able to link that old system together, because we get more performance than this one. So I'm disappointed with these producers. The Asus Extreme Rampage 5, I have some problems at booting. So in these controls it shows me at the booting DDR, it freezes at DDR, I think are the RAMs, and I have to reset the system. I have to unplug it from the power source and then restart the system to be able to get it in Windows boot. At the chapter overclocking, it's not mind-blowing. You cannot make a stable overclocking more than 4.4 gigahertz to this CPU. I'm curious how Asus managed to get 6 GHz with 5916X processor for i7 processor with nitrogen cooling liquid, because this extreme motherboard had to support more overclocking, because you know it's top components, quality components integrated in this motherboard. I made days of overclocking. I overclocked in the RAM profile, I overclocked in the base clock, in the ratio, and more than, you can see it, more than 43 with 105 I cannot manage, because in BIOS I changed those values at the extreme capabilities. I put it not to optimize to extreme, every one of them, and from 100% to 140. So that's why I have those values on this OC control panel. At the overclocking, it's a little catch that some users don't seem to understand. You can manage to achieve 5 GHz rapidly with this system, but will be at the performance, for example at the video rendering, you will get less performance because it will not be good optimized, and your CPU you will get heated over the 80 degrees. So this is not necessarily an improvement, quite contrarily. In time you will lose performance of your components, you could burn them, you could do a lot of problems on that temperatures over 85 or I don't know if you work in 90 degrees. I want to show you now this system I like in particular, and I made some modification. I put 2 fans, 2 large fans. This one shows the red in the bottom side. It's a great case, it's a medium to high tower case, and I work a little bit with airflow. I direction the air to be evacuated on the back of this case. Now I want to show you some secrets. The first fan will directional the air in the video card. Of course the video card has in the back some evacuation, but it's not really efficient. Asus is proud with this card, but the evacuation of the air is not efficient. And I had some problems with the heating of the processor because all the air is evacuated on this side through the radiator of the water cooling of the solution. So I managed to see that Asus Strix doesn't start the fans below 60 degrees. So in 55 degrees, 58, it accumulates in this PC case a lot of heat. So the heat was evacuated on the fan, on the CPU cooler. So the cooler was getting some extra heat from all the components, and especially from this video card. So Asus has a software, a suite, who lets you control your fans and overclocking if you don't have this panel like we showed you before, and it will recognize the video card, the Asus video card. It recognizes it immediately when you put it in the system and you install the driver, and you can set for the fans to work at a slow speed just to evacuate the heat out. You know, this video card, it's awesome. We have another review and Asus is proud of it because it's the first video card that came out in the production made only by machines, so the human error is unexisting. Another catch is the quad channel versus dual channel. There is not much improvements for this. I tested, I let 4 DDR RAM sticks with dual sticks, dual channel in RAM versus quad channel. You will not get a lot of performance. I tested in the window starting performance, in video rendering performance, and I get quad channel versus dual channel only 2 seconds of exactly the same project. So it's not a lot of performance if you want my opinion. You will get performance in the opening of the application. In Photoshop it took half the time of loading. For example, in dual channel it took 6 or 7 seconds, with quad channel 3 or 4 seconds. It's quite an improvement, but you know the performance is not only in opening softwares, because you will not close and open, close and open, close and open your applications. The application will open up and the performance is in editing or in in rendering. That is a performance. In previewing is the performance. My conclusion is that this is a super PC. It's quite good. To tell you another thing, we have a power source of 600 watts and we didn't put the power. We have another one in 1000 watts from Cooler Master Silent Pro. This is a Cooler Master, it's a good power source and we don't use that much power because we don't use in gaming mode. So we've tested a little bit on this UPS and this UPS tell us what is the power consumption. So now the power consumption on idle, it's one line, and at full power it barely reaches 4 lines. 4 lines meaning 600 watts actual power consumption. It's a 1000 VA power amps UPS with 27 amps of batteries inside. So it's a powerful, it's exactly a UPS for this computer. It's a perfectly UPS, and it's with power management. And in power management with ideea Extreme we managed to make a stability test, and in that stability test we didn't reach 95. We reached somewhere in 92, 94% of power consumption, so 100% we didn't reach, even with Asus Strix OC 980 Ti OC. The most relevant part is that in video editing the softwares will not use all the potential of this component. So this is bad, this is very bad, because you know this video card is used maximum that I reach 45% rendering in Sony Vegas, and that is the maximum that I got at 4K rendering or this heavy rendering with the video card. So for you gamers, I tested in Far Cry 3 with ultra high details in 690 GTX in one CPU. The CPU was used 92%. With the both in CLE mode with both GPUs, I said CPU, sorry, GPUs, with the video card was at 45%, so that's why we said the Super PC, because it's a Super PC 690. It's a great card, and look at the benchmarks. If you don't believe me, the benchmarks between Titan X 980 Ti are not that high, are not that double or triple, you know, like other video cards. It's still a great video card 690, but we buy this one for maximum performance because it's the best, for the best video cards there is on the market in our days. It has even bigger performance than Titan X because it has the core, the RAM frequencies, more frequencies, but it loses at the 6 gigs of memory. But what games uses 5 gigs? All the games uses 4 maximum. I think maximum. I don't think it will reach 5 gigs yet. So in conclusion, I'm happy with the system. I'm happy with the video production because I don't have drop of the frames, or I don't have those preview freezes in the video editing programs. 4K is now very well to render and preview, but I'm disappointed with these words. With Extreme you will pay a lot of money for marketing. Please remember this, you will pay money for the logos, you will pay money for the design, and this cuts a little bit of performance, because those fonts on the performance will be added to the design, to the marketing. And I myself, I'm a guy who is interested in performance. So subscribe to our channel for more tutorials and reviews. You got to love technology because technology is part of our lives. Subscribe to our channel and thumbs up if you like this video. Bye guys, see you.